Hello, everyone. Good evening, good afternoon, and good morning to those of you across land and across the pond. I am Leo Brown, here again with another intuitive insight. So, before I get into today's intuitive insight, I wanted to say thank you to all of you for watching, commenting, and most of all, subscribing to the channel. It means a great deal, and it lets YouTube know and the algorithm know that you really enjoy my work. So, please continue to like, comment, and most of all, subscribe. Okay. All right, my sugar bears. So today's intuitive insight is none other than Shaun T and his spouse Scott Blokker. And I hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly, Mr. Blokker. If I am not, forgive me. Blame my head and not my heart, not my intention. So before I get into it, I want to explain what an intuitive insight is. Intuitive insight is just what it sounds. I'm going to use my intuition, which we all have, and I'm going to, excuse me, I don't know why I had itchy nose, and I'm going to basically just say what I see, sense, or feel regarding them and their relationship. I'm going to try to be very honest and real. I'm not going to be, it's funny, part of me is like BPG, but if y'all know me, honey, that ain't me. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to tell the truth and spill the tea. And hopefully it'll give you guys insight into them. And, if they ever see this, which I doubt, but if they ever do, it'll give them insight into themselves and into their relationship and their lives. I may be using tools. For those of you who are new here, I am a psychic medium and I'm also a life coach. If you would like a reading, you can get a reading from me or a coaching session from me. It's psychicleo.com. That's psychicleo.com. You can also follow me on various social media platforms. I may be using tools. I may not. We'll see. We'll see what spirit has to say. So I am kind of nervous guided to do this because I followed Shaun and his career in the fitness industry since hip hop abs. And then, of course, he really came into his own with Insanity. And since then, he and Scott is a soccer player, which I actually didn't know. For our people across the pond, he's a football player, or he was. But I think he may still be. But anywho, but um, but just to see what they have accumulated together, not just in terms of wealth, but in terms of family and stability and security and happiness. And I think for them to be so raw and at times very real, especially I think Shaun is very real with his stuff. They both are in their own ways. So I think it's really nice to see. So I just wanted to say that. So here is my take on Shaun T and Scott Blokker. And I hope I'm saying your name right, Mr. Blokker. If I'm not, it's okay. You can spank me later. No. I just had to say that. I couldn't be me if I didn't do it a little bit. Anywho, all right, so let me get serious. Um, okay. Well, the first thing that I pick up uh, regarding them, I pick up three things: growth, transformation, and sexuality. And I literally get, especially with Shaun, I feel like Shaun has really undergone and is undergoing, not saying that you were not confident in who you were. But what I'm getting around you now is that there's such a stability. It's like you're so set in who you are, in your emotions, in your love for your family. But I really pick up a lot to do. One of the reasons why, because I know this is probably one of the questions that people always ask. One of the reasons why Shaun now is being very open and very what am I trying to say? Very fluid about his sexuality and nudity and things of that nature is because I really pick up that for a long time, he either was told no or his sexuality was seen as a stain. It was seen as something wrong. And I'm getting like the ages of 7 through like 15 years old. I really get a lot of emotional ups and downs around that time. I feel like the water was pretty murky and pretty dark. And I even feel like even now, you may go through, there are moments where you still have to console and let the little boy that's in you cry because I'm literally seeing you like in a fetal position and or like you have your knees to your chest and you're crying. And I get you being like, there's certain things that granted, I'm happy doing what I do. I love my job. I love my work. I love the fact that I have, because I definitely see you talking about it. I know that you guys have a podcast, but I'm seeing you really talking about it a lot. And I actually get you speaking out about it either on a definitely bigger platforms, definitely within the fitness industry. And I pick up like either a local thing or there's something you're going to do. Um, I don't want to use the word politically, but that's the way it feels to me. Like there's something that you want to do, either a foundation, there's something you're going to end up doing that's going to really affect the way things like that are looked at, and are done and are handled on a deeper, a bigger platform. So I feel like that's why now I pick up evolution, I pick up change, I pick up sexuality, but freedom. And I feel like you really are, like I really want to just come out and not come out in just the physical, but internally. I feel like you really are going through a metamorphosis. And I think people don't understand it because people often see you as the fitness guy, you know. And then when it comes to Mr. Bloker, and I'm telling you, call you Scott, I'm gonna call you Scott. What I get around Scott is I get nurturing, I get a sense of security, but I also get someone who can be very angry, who is very quick tempered, who is very opinionated, but it's like in a passive aggressive kind of way. The one thing I would say for both of you is watch the way you communicate to each other. Your communication styles are very different, very different. And sometimes you guys can clash. Um, I feel like you definitely have a great marriage, but I also pick up that what I'm hearing is a lot of I hear the word misunderstanding. Um, and then with Scott, I'm seeing something to do with his parents or people that like family unit. I feel like that's really important to you. Community, that's more your speed. Like you don't mind the limelight, but for you, it's about having people around you that love you, that know you, that care for you and for Shaun, that really want you guys to grow. Um, you, Scott, needs to get into writing. I don't know if you want to write a book or books, but I'm seeing you write. Um, I definitely see you speaking as well. You're another one. Um, and I want to say like sports, because I almost see you holding, I know it's not this, but I see you holding a football. And I know it's not a literal football. It's probably because I know in Europe, football is called, soccer is called football. So I see you holding football. but you doing coaching, there's something you're going to end up doing regarding sports medicine. And I get you doing training, things like that. And you coming out not with a line per se, but something more corporate. Excuse me. And it becomes underground at first. It's underground. It starts underground, the business, but then it grows. And then you have your time to shine. And I feel like you both share the spotlight very evenly, which is good. Even though honey, Shaun, baby, you are a diva all day long. And I mean diva wearing a fur coat, okay? Walking around naked wearing a fur coat on, okay? Looking like Aretha Franklin with your money in your purse. You are a diva down. And I get a connection with you guys in New York, Manhattan, even Manhattan, Mount Vernon, because I get like New York State, that part of the country. I feel like one of you wants to live in the city, one of you wants to live in the country, and it's kind of like having to find a coming around. I also get a connection to you guys and the beach, the water, Florida, Hawaii, places like that. Very serene. Um, I do pick up Arizona, but I feel like Arizona is like base for y'all. But one of y'all is a globetrotter. Like you have to, you can't stay in one place for one time. I feel like this is more so Shaun. I think Scott is along for the ride, but I feel like Shaun, you gotta go. You gotta, because Shaun, it's funny. Shaun, I get, and I'm sorry, I'm like itching and stuff. Shaun, I get in a lot of ways is still 17, 18, just that youthfulness, that like he will always be that one that's like, I want to try new things, I want to see new people, I want to look like he's just, I'm always gonna show my ass, honey, because I work like I just see, and then Scott is like, okay, what I get around Scott is like, yeah, I'm the same way, but Scott is more from what I'm seeing, Scott is more, I don't mind the public eye, but Scott is very, when it comes to that, Scott is more private. But then I get that when they're at home, Scott is the one that's like, listen, don't start no shit, you know. And I kind of get that not that they argue a lot, but Scott is the one that kind of will lay it down. Scott's like, listen, that's cute, but no, man, And I feel like that's what for Shaun, that's what he likes. He likes the fact that the shoes can switch feet. It works for him. Um, oh my God, I want to say this is a little girl that I'm seeing in my head. Baby, get this girl involved in the arts, get her involved in dance classes, something like that, because she needs it. She is going to be another one that's going to be a diva, honey. And I feel like I keep getting the arts around her, especially dance. And then I feel like the little boy, because I see kids, and I see the little boy being the observer. What I get around the little boy is a lot of empathy. I get a little boy that cries a lot. I get a little boy that feels on a really deep level. I get someone that might be a writer, a songwriter, because I see musicality around them or with them. I would definitely say with your children, listen to what they say, even if it sounds silly to y'all. Listen to when they have dreams, when they talk about certain people, because I feel like, especially the daughter, she's been here before. The son has too, but I definitely feel like the daughter definitely has that. And I get somebody having visitations. Either the daughter does or it switches. I feel like they both do. But I mainly get the daughter being the one that has that intuitive gift. And she can read people like a book. Um, let's see, what else am I getting to say? That's another thing I'm picking up around, and I get this with Shaun a lot. I'm seeing a spiritual journey of sorts. I feel like you're gonna go on one, and if you're not, Going on one, you're if you're not on it now, you're gonna be, because I feel like I literally see you doing this. So what this is telling me is that you're working on your innards, you're working on your heart, you're working on opening yourself up to love, not love in the intimate sense. That's not what I'm saying, but love in loving yourself. I definitely see a lot to do with you and body dysmorphia. Like I get a lot of that. Like you really deal with that. And I feel like with Scott, Scott is just like, you know what? I get it. But Scott, what Scott's spiritual teacher is nature, nature itself. Scott can go to a beach, climb a mountain, see a tree, and the answers come to him. But I definitely see meditation. I definitely see retreats for both of you, especially as we go into the latter part, maybe the 6 month, um, May, June of the year. I see you guys getting a lot into your spirituality, essential oils, massage, meditation, past life regression, sweat lodges, things like that. So I do see you guys going on that journey. But I feel like I just get Scott being very supportive. Very supportive. Um, do 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 do. Um, yeah, and I'm gonna bring it up because I'm gonna bring it up. Yeah, I feel like the podcast is gonna morph into so many different things because you guys have a podcast now, but it's morphing into so many different things. Because I definitely see you doing videos and things like that, but I see you doing like I don't know if you have one now, but like an athletic wear line. I definitely see you guys doing OnlyFans as well, but I feel like your OnlyFans is gonna be more um the word I want to say is intimate. That's the word I'm picking up around me. Very intimate, a lot of intimacy. And I feel like you guys are going to end up helping couples too, eventually. Like, I feel like that's something you guys want to do. You want to help couples kind of bring the spice back into their relationships. Not like marriage counselors, but maybe like you run the retreat and then you have counselors. Counselors that specialize in GLBTQ relationships, and then it goes from there. And I keep seeing Nevada or like New Mexico around it regarding this. So I definitely see you guys doing things like that. Um, hmm. The one thing I will say as a cautionary thing is watch your spending. I feel like one of you loves money, honey, and one of you loves to shop. And I feel like one of you loves stuff like cars, trinkets, electronics. You know what I mean? One of you is really into that, and you really need to watch your budget. Now, that doesn't mean, now, let me say this. That don't mean that you guys are going to being broke and being like TLC. This is how we can sell 2 million, 10 million records and be broke. No, that's not what I'm saying. But I get, for some reason, really watch just not how you spend, but what you're spending it on, and itemize, prioritize. Do we really need this? Do we really need that? Let go of things that don't serve you anymore financially, and you guys will be fine. Because I'm also seeing you guys going over a lot of contracts, a lot of endorsement deals, things like that. Just making sure that you guys are okay as you grow, as you get, as you age, um, and as your children grow as well. Because I feel like that's a really big thing for y'all. Y'all really are like, listen, we may have our little fun or whatever, and do our thing and speak and all these engagements, but mainly our family will always come first. So I'm seeing a lot of that. Um, and there's a connection with you and there's a connection, Shaun, with you and your mom. I don't know what I'm not getting a great deal regarding the relationship, but I feel like for some reason there's something there. There's something there that you are either healing or you're working on healing with your mother. And I feel like there's a lot of not just mother, but like family in general. And for some reason, I feel like you're really working on healing that open wound, because I literally see like an open sore, and you're working on healing. And a lot of it has to do with trust, not only trusting those around you, but trusting yourself. So yeah, I really picked that up a great deal. Um, And what I'm being told is stay grounded for both of you. Stay grounded within yourself. Stay grounded in what you know. And don't be afraid to challenge each other in ways that is needed. And not everything is for public display or consumption. You already know that. I'm just saying. So that is my intuitive insight on Shaun T and his lovely spouse, Scott Blokker. I hope you guys have enjoyed this. I thank you guys so much for watching. If you would like a reading outside of this modality and medium yourself, you can log onto my website, psychicradio.com. I am a life coach and psychic medium. And if not, you can just follow me on various social media platforms. I hope all of you have a wonderful week, wonderful rest of this week, and I will see you guys very soon. All right? Love you.